So I'm about to watch the 2024 Oscars, and my preparations for this video have not gone particularly well. I finished editing my preview video for the 2024 Oscars several hours ago. It turned out to be enormously long because I just can't shut up. But then came the problem of trying to upload it. I mean, yes, it was a very long video, a very large file, and my internet is absolutely shit at the moment. So the Oscars have already started. I've got them paused in front of me, and my preview video is not yet up. So before I get this reaction video up, I'm going to have to get the preview video up, which will be obsolete, which is annoying. As you can see, I've had to shift positions because I don't have a television in my room in my normal recording space. So I'm in my mother's rather chintzy living room with her big TV. So, yeah. Oh, and also my cat Purdy is also currently in the room. She looks like she's falling asleep, but there's no guarantee that will continue. And last year she freaked me the fuck out by appearing over my shoulder. So, yes, be aware that there might be some cat-related issues. But, yeah, about to start the Oscars, which is almost certainly going to be a load of Oppenheimer, but I guess we shall see. So, without any further ado, let's start the 2024 Oscars.
Here's some fun Oscar trivia. 48 years ago, Robert De Niro and Jodie Foster were nominated for Taxi Driver, and they are both nominated again tonight.
Wow, that never occurred to me. 48 years. Albeit Jodie Foster was really, really young in Taxi Driver, which was the whole point. But wow.
In 1976,
Yeah.
Jodie Foster is young enough to be Robert De Niro's daughter. For the first time in more than 2 decades, we're adding a new category to the Oscars. Not tonight, don't worry. In the future, they will be adding an Oscar for achievement in casting, which, you better...
Yeah, about time. I've long said that there should be a best ensemble category, and that's kind of what best casting is.
Watch someone else win an Oscar for a part you didn't get. Steven, are you nominated tonight, or are you here because you have season tickets? Steven and his wife Kate Capshaw donated a lot of money to help actors and writers.
How many years in recent past has Steven Spielberg not been nominated for an Oscar? That's actually quite interesting.
And we're going to kick it off with the Oscar for actress in a supporting role.
Okay, supporting actress. I mean, that was a seemingly a long monologue. And other than the stuff about the strike, it could have been any year at all. Oh, 5 former winners. Okay. Including Jamie Lee Curtis from last year. It should have been Stephanie Hsu.
If you saw only that extraordinary moment, you would know why Emily Blunt is nominated tonight. Emily, I am
okay,
so
I get
proud to be your
the
friend, and I am shaking
intention
my
of having
head in
these
wonder
5
how
former
beautiful,
winners
heartbreaking,
give the
and
speech and say, yeah, you are so wonderful, here's the award. But this is going to make the ceremony so fucking long. Wow. Risa Moreno always brings it, but America Ferrera, it looks so much thinner than the last time I saw her. Maybe even unhealthily thin?
Movie of the past year. The Oscar goes to Da'Vine.
What a surprise, Da'Vine Joy Randolph, who is wearing a very, very big dress that is very, very feathery. Yeah, Jodie Foster would have been my choice. I mean, as I said in my preview video, which you have not seen by this point probably, this category this year I don't think was a very strong one. I mean, Dave and Joe Randolph was the favourite, but I wasn't the hugest fan of any of them really. I mean, and the best of a weak bunch was Jodie Foster for me.
God is so good.
Yay, God.
God is so good, you know.
Okay, that's part one done. They usually start with one of the supporting categories. This year it was supporting actress. And they have done that thing of having, 5 former winners of the category hand out the award, but such a love fest, and when the eternal question of the Oscars is make them shorter. I mean, that stupid idea they had a couple of years ago when they would give away the minor awards in the breaks, I mean, that didn't work. But yeah, pretty bland opening monologue from Jimmy Kimmel. He's not my favourite host. I'm not sure I have a favourite host, to be honest, but yeah, it's started out pretty much as you expect. Self-congratulatory stuff about the strike, having all the Teamsters and people coming up on stage and saying, we will support you in the strike, will you fuck? But yeah, let's see what happens next. I forgot my little friend, so let's carry on with part 2.
The God of Thunder and Princess Peach, Chris Hemsworth and Anya Taylor-Joy.
Okay, animated feature. Probably Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, maybe Boy and the Heron. As far as animated short goes, I haven't seen any of them, but one of them is directed by a recognisable director or directing team, Jared and Drew Shahas. So that's my bet for sure, not that I've seen it, but let's see.
And the Oscar goes to War is Over, inspired by music.
Okay, so they went for the sentimental one. I mean, I haven't seen any of them, but I've heard about them, and apparently War is Over is done in the Unreal Engine, the gaming thing, and from what I understand, it's quite sentimental about playing chess via pigeon in the trenches of the First World War. So, yeah.
Thank Thomas Newman for his incredible score.
Scored by Thomas Newman?
So much, my kids Lola, my wife.
That's a get.
Amazingly talented team at Weta FX. The amazing.
Oh, Weta did it. Okay.
Entertainment.
Alright, so
Games,
reasonably big company was
Lisa
involved in
Bamford.
one of these, it was probably going to win, so...
Roman
yeah.
Hudson watching at home. I love you very much.
So could everyone please say Happy Mother's Day, Yoko? Happy Mother's Day,
Yoko Ono getting a Happy Mother's Day. Okay.
All right, and the Oscar goes to The Boy and the Heron.
Okay! Hayao Miyazaki comes out with the win.
Hayao Miyazaki and Toshio Suzuki could not be here with us tonight, so we accept this Oscar on their behalf.
Congratulations!
So it wasn't Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Maybe the whole thing about the poor working conditions for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, maybe that had something to do with it. So, yeah, Hayao Miyazaki gets another Oscar. He did win for Spirited Away, I think. But yeah, the Japanese animation won it. Oh, The Gods Broke. Okay. I mean, yes, I thought that was a distinct possibility that The Boy and the Heron would win, but I didn't like The Boy and the Heron. I mean, I like Hayao Miyazaki in general. I think he is one of the great figures in world cinema, let alone world animation. But for me, The Boy and the Heron was some really, really beautiful imagery, some really, really beautiful ideas, even some really beautiful moments. But I didn't feel like it was a whole film. It really didn't come together for me as much as I think it should have done. It had great and beautiful and powerful moments, but I just wasn't a fan of Boy and the Heron. So yeah, I think I would have taken Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I definitely would have taken Nimona out of the 5 nominees. And the Polish film The Peasants didn't even get a nomination. And that, I think, probably would have been my choice this year out of the eligible list of the ones I've seen. I doubt anything would beat The Peasants of the ones I haven't seen yet. But anyway, yeah, Hayao Miyazaki gets another Oscar. That surprises me. But let's see what's up next.
Our next Oscars are for Best Original and Adapted Screenplay, which is actually a controversial category this year.
Okay,
A lot of people
screenplays.
Want to know, at what age do you tell a screenplay it was adapted? Our next presenter,
Jimmy Kimmel just isn't funny. But yes, I mean, it is controversial because is Barbie adapted or original?
Oscar nominee Melissa McCarthy and Oscar winner Octavia Spencer.
Chippendale. Well, usually I am saying Chippendale, but not now, because that would be weird.
Yeah. But why don't we just
Yeah, not funny.
what the brilliant writers wrote for us?
Oh.
And the Oscar goes to Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah, Anatomy of a Fall. I think it won both the BAFTA and the Golden Globe, so it was probably going to win this category. My choice, I think Past Lives, the screenplay to Past Lives, is one of the most beautiful pieces of screenplay writing I've ever seen. I mean, it's beautiful. And of course they come up to stage to PIMP, that steel drum cover. Oh, Justine Triet's wearing trousers. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Wow, she's tall.
Barbie, written by Greta Gerwig.
Based on Barbie by Mattel. I really think Barbie should have been in the original category.
Every single other woman tie herself into knots.
And of course, this is the speech. I mean, America Ferrera's speech. That is the Oscar moment.
It is your body, Bella Baxter. You will sing it freely.
I generally charge 30 francs.
That seems low.
That's an odd choice for the Oscar clip.
And the Oscar goes to American Fiction.
Okay, American Fiction. So, yeah, the precursors went a lot of in the direction of American Fiction. I did think it was going to be Oppenheimer though, because I mean this year you're on to a loser if you bet against Oppenheimer in almost every category. I mean, yeah, I think American Fiction is great. Barbie would have been my choice, but American Fiction is a great winner. I think I prefer it over Oppenheimer. I mean, it's a little bit divisive, particularly the ending, but I mean, the blending of the family drama and the really, really biting, blunt satire.
Thank you so much. And instead of making one $200 million movie, try making 20 $10 million movies.
Not a bad strategy. I mean, that's kind of what we need. I mean, look at something like Madame Web. I mean, how much did that cost?
Like, you can...
Performing the Oscar-nominated song What Was I Made For from Barbie. Here are Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell.
this is going to win. I mean, and I heard someone comment the other day that this means that Billie Eilish will have had more Oscar wins than Martin Scorsese. I mean, honestly, I prefer I'm Just Ken from Barbie, and I also think that the song Pink should have been submitted. The producers didn't even submit Pink to the Oscar consideration, which is...
Here are Catherine O'Hara and Oscar nominee Michael Keaton.
Okay, so they're doing the whole Beetlejuice thing, but let's not mention Jeffrey Jones, shall we?
Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and me one go home.
Here are the nominees for makeup and hairstyling.
This is a weird category, makeup and hairstyling, because, you know, makeup and hairstyling, you hear that, you think, you know, sitting in a chair and getting, you know, made up, but more often than not, it's the prosthetics. So this is almost certainly going to be Maestro.
The Oscar goes to Poor Things.
Really? Okay, wow, that does surprise me.
This is the first Oscar and nomination.
I thought it was going to be Maestro. I mean, Maestro's the prosthetics guy who did Bombshell and Darkest Hour. A Japanese guy. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. I'll have to double check that later. But I'm sure they were going to go for the prosthetics. I mean, yes, Poor Things does have some prosthetics with Willem Dafoe, and obviously the glamour makeup as well.
I can't believe I just said those words. Thank you to Yorgos for making films like nobody else. Thank you to Sir.
Okay, I'm actually really pleased by that.
Ellen, Claire, and
Because Poor Things is the best film. I mean, in my Oscar preview, which you haven't seen yet, Poor Things is my choice for Best Picture. So,
And the winner is Poor Things.
Poor Things again. Well, obviously, it's a great-looking film. The fact that this got production... Well, obviously, Poor Things is more flamboyant, it's more noticeable than Oppenheimer. But the fact that this got production design over Oppenheimer... Maybe there's going to be a surprise! Probably not, but two in a row for Poor Things. Nice. It's an extraordinary film, it really is.
Wow, this is crazy. At the 46th Academy Awards in 1974, David Niven was in the middle of introducing Elizabeth Taylor when a nude man, a streaker, ran across the stage. Can you imagine if a nude man ran across the stage today? I said, can you imagine...
Cue Barry Keoghan.
A nude man ran across the stage today? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh, John Cena.
What?
It says something that John Cena kind of looks like he's made of plastic anyway.
They are so important. Costumes that are
Okay, fingers crossed this is going to be 3 in a row for Poor Things.
Yeah, you look beautiful.
And the Oscar goes to Poor Things.
Nice! Poor Things 3 in a row. 3 technicals in a row. I mean, and one of the things about Poor Things and about Yorgos Lanthimos in general is the look of the film. So I'm glad that it's actually getting recognised. Part of me feels bad for Barbie because most years Barbie would be a shoo-in in all of these categories, but it came up against this fantastical surrealist thing. So yeah, before we get on to the next section, 3 in a row for Poor Things. I mean, I said in my preview video, which you haven't seen, the 2 below the line categories I was really, really invested in was Poor Things winning costume design, because I was sure that was going to Barbie, and The Zone of Interest winning sound, because that is a film that is all about the soundscape. I saw that with a Q&A. It's the only time I've ever been at a Q&A where the sound designer was part of the Q&A. It was one of the 6 people on stage. So, yeah, I really, really hope The Zone of Interest wins sound when that comes up. But yeah, Poor Things won costume design. And it won production design. And it won... What was the other one that it won? Oh, makeup and hairstyling, yeah. I honestly thought it was going to go to Maestro or Golda because of, the heavy, heavy prosthetics. But in both cases, maybe, it was a bit of Jew face, because in both cases it was, prominent nose for Jewish characters. Possibly that had something to do with it. And possibly it's the fact that Poor Things is just the better film, and when given a choice, the Academy tends to go to the best film. So, yeah, Poor Things 3 in a row there. All about the visuals, all about the look of the film. But as a film in and of itself, I think Poor Things is great. And I'm pleased it's getting it's getting wins. It's probably not going to get as many as Oppenheimer at the end of the day. It's going to be interesting to see what the tally is by the end of the ceremony. But Poor Things 3 in a row, including costume design, which I'm really, really pleased about. So, yeah, let's get on to the next segment.
And he told all the truths.
Oh, going straight into Wajaje. Now, here is the point where I start to sound like a racist, because I don't think this should be eligible. And I'll explain that in the next break, which we're probably not going to get for a while, but the fact that they even made this eligible is ridiculous in my opinion. The fact it got a nomination is also ridiculous in my opinion. No. It is a great performance, and what it is very good, but it's not a song, which I'll be talking about later. And Lily Gladstone is clearly emotional about it, which, you have every right to be.
El arte del cine es un lenguaje universal que habla a los hilos que nos unen juntos.
Okay, actually doing it in Spanish.
You see, he's not such a bad bunny. Happy birthday, brother.
Gracias. Thank you.
International films enrich our cultural understanding by broadening our perspective.
First win of the night for The Zone of Interest.
Here are the nominees for
Actually, there's been 3 presenters in a row who've appeared in the WWE ring.
And the Oscar goes to The Zone of Interest.
Well, for one thing, Bad Bunny really can't speak very good English. I don't think it was that bad, but yeah, it was going to win. Because Anatomy of a Fall and Past Lives, the other predominantly non-English language films which got its Best Picture, weren't eligible. So, Zone of Interest was the only option, basically.
Whether the victims of October the 7th in Israel or the ongoing attack on Gaza, all the victims of this dehumanization, how do we resist?
I suppose making a point about Gaza at this point is an appropriate place to do it.
The girl who glows in the film as she did in life chose to. I dedicate this to her memory and her resistance. Thank you.
I suppose that's one way of getting everything you want to get out there. Just go out on stage, just gripping your piece of paper so tightly and just reading it out.
Wow. Bit of a frosty hello.
Not at all. No, I'm just happy that we can finally put this Barbenheimer rivalry behind us.
That's right.
Yeah, because you're in The Fall Guy, coming out in a couple of weeks.
Just leaving all that fodder in the dust, guys, right? And the way this award season's turned out wasn't that much of a rivalry, so just let it go! So...
It's true. You guys are doing very well. Congratulations.
Thanks.
But I think I kind of figured out why they call it Barbenheimer and they didn't call it Oppen Barbie.
Why?
Well, I think you guys are at the tail end of that because you were riding Barbie's coattails all summer.
Thanks for Ken-splaining that to me. All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert doing that.
You're kidding.
Robert
You're
Downey
kidding.
did not paint his abs on.
This is insane, Emily. This has got to stop. We have to squash this. We're here to celebrate the stunt community.
Massively, yes.
They've been such a crucial part of our industry since the beginning of cinema.
It's true.
It is true.
They are truly the unsung heroes.
Okay, so having the stars of The Fall Guy doing the bit about the stunts. And also, conveniently, having the whole Barbenheimer thing. That was the first genuinely funny introduction. Well, actually, the John Cena thing being naked. But, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, nice little bit about the stunt people. I mean, it's long been an absence in the Oscars, a category for stunt performers. I don't think that's coming. I mean, apparently we're getting best casting next year, but whatever. And the fact that Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling do appear to actually genuinely like each other, or at least can act convincingly. So yeah, that was a nice little bit. But that segment started with Wajaje, Song of My People. Now, as I said, I'm probably going to sound like a racist saying this, but I don't think that should be in the Oscars. The fact it was deemed as eligible, not only was it deemed as eligible in the Best Original Song category, it got a nomination. And for me, that is a great performance. I mean, the performance we got on stage was great and, culturally appropriate, all that kind of stuff. Lily Gladstone was clearly very, very moved by that. What it does very, very well. And the bit in the movie Killers of the Flower Moon where that comes up, at the end, where the big circle of all the natives dancing, great stuff. But it's not a song. It's a chant. And for me, those are two very, very different things. And for some reason, I weirdly went on a deep dive into the Best Original Song category this year, which I generally don't do. But I got curious, so I started looking stuff up. And honestly, there are so many fantastic songs which didn't get nominated. Some weren't even submitted because producers have to submit the songs that they want considered. And because of the way the rules work, in general, if you submit more than 3 songs, then it's not worth your while because you're just not going to get nominated. So, for example, the producers of Barbie submitted What Was I Made For, I'm Just Ken, and Dance the Night Away, which meant that Pink didn't make the cut. And I think that might be the best song in the entire film Barbie. And that's just one example. So there were certain songs which didn't even get submitted. There were songs which didn't make the 15 film long list. And there were songs on the long list which I think were substantially better than Wajaje, which is a chant It's not a song, in my opinion. And because I went on this deep dive, I've actually prepared a little segment in this. I've pre-prepared a little segment which hopefully is going to fit in here and hopefully is not going to trip the copyright protections too hard. So here are some of the songs which, in my opinion, would have been a better choice for Best Original Song nomination than Wajaje, Song of My People.
Rise up, open the skies up, and take the world by storm. I'll flood the dry lands, low and highlands, and take the world by storm.
She's so sweet, like butter would melt heaven deep, with a little bit of hell I need to keep it to myself, don't need.
Do you see the wings of time? Do you feel a sense of pride?
I dance on the graves of my many mistakes. They're cold, shiny stones. They teach me new rules. Tip top, tip, tippity top. I'm moving forward. I'm moving on. I'm free to make the precepts. Power is the thesis. Power. Crimson on my lips when I smile on a T-Rex. Literate the killjoy. Detonating the new noise. Cierpienia powróci tu i poniesie mnie w pół.
Building up until it all goes dark.
In my head,
I can feel it getting closer.
in my head,
Breathing heavy on my shoulder.
and I'm trying to fake it. なんで泣いてるのと聞かれ答えれる。涙なんかじゃ僕ら出会えたことの意味にはまるで追いつかないこの身一つ。Empty's in home. Empty's in Every day the sun don't shine, but oh, keep it moving, keep it moving. It's up to you the way you choose to go. Keep it moving, keep it moving.
Maybe we should meet in the middle. Maybe we could find a little city no one knows.
You'll feel it all around. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere, but you can't catch me now.
Not done fighting. I don't feel I lose them. I'm dreaming. Is there more like us?
Yes, some of those are very, very strange. The one from Theatre Camp is pretty damn stupid, but the incredibly stupid one from Asteroid City made the 15 film long list. I mean, that's barely a song in and of itself. So, yeah, the fact that that made the long list was ridiculous as well. So, yes, some of them are profound, some of them are silly, all of them are good, and in my opinion, better than Wajaje, Song of My People. And yes, I'm a white guy saying this, but I don't think it should have been eligible, and I don't think it should have got nominated. It's almost certainly not going to win, but... And I like the fact that we had essentially a Native American ceremony on stage at the Oscars, which is something which the Oscars has not had the best history with, you know, Sachin Littlefeather and things like that. come at me if you want, but I like Wajaje for what it is. But in my opinion, it's not a song. And therefore, I don't think it should be in the Oscars. But, yeah, we'll have to see if it wins. It probably won't, but let's see. And move on to the next section.
Our next category is for actor in a supporting role, and we have a whole bunch
Okay,
of
supporting
actor.
actor.
Please welcome your best supporting actors.
This is probably going to be Robert Downey Jr.
Tim Robbins.
Well, putting Ke-Huy Quan next to Tim Robbins does not do Ke-Huy Quan any favours at all.
Your performance in American Fiction is extraordinary and transformative.
No, it isn't. I did not like Sterling K. Brown's performance in American Fiction. Certainly not enough to give it an award or an award nomination. Just get on with it.
There are actors. Mr. De Niro, in an Oscar-winning, Oscar-worthy performance, gives us, should be winning, gives us a reminder of the heart of darkness within our ancestral blood. Congratulations to an acting legend.
Okay, was that just a slip of the tongue, or was that a spoiler? Because I don't think De Niro's winning this.
It's not really new that your appetite for challenges is unmatched, exemplified by your portrayal of Duncan Wedderbird in Poor Things, which has rightfully earned you this nomination.
But at the same time, you can make an argument that he's not even the best supporting actor in his own film. I mean, Willem Dafoe got the SAG nomination over him. I think it was one of the precursor awards.
And the Oscar goes to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Which I do think he is genuinely deserved. I mean, when I saw Oppenheimer, one of my primary takeaways was Robert Downey Jr. is fucking brilliant. So, yeah.
My entertainment lawyer, Tom Hansen, of 40 years, the half of which he spent trying to get me insured and bailing me out of the hoosecow. Thanks, bro. Avery Extendinio, this one's for you.
Yeah, I think that was an expectedly good speech from Robert Downey. The dog's still there? Okay, but anyway, yeah.
Welcome back. No real surprise.
Okay, that was a short segment. So yeah, acknowledging all the problems. I mean, you have to really. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff. You know, the drugs and the arrests and the jail and all that stuff, and you know, having to claw his way back to respectability from absolutely nothing. You have to acknowledge that, and you know, saying, "I'd like to thank my terrible childhood" is his opening line. I mean, that's one way of doing it. And yeah, that was, you know, charming and debonair and very Robert Downey Jr. And I mean, as I said, I think that performance in Oppenheimer, I think Oppenheimer is a great film. And in my mind, one of the main reasons for that is Robert Downey Jr. I mean, his petty, vindictive performance. I mean, this man who constantly needs to create straw men to bring down because he needs the power, he needs the political influence. He's the cold, calculated operative in this situation. He's not a scientist, and he's kind of resentful of the fact he's not a scientist. And yeah, being essentially brought down by your own scheming is to some degree what happens to Strauss in Oppenheimer. And yeah, I think it was a genuinely brilliant performance. I mean, I honestly didn't think that Robert Downey Jr. had that performance in him. That performance of menace, of disquiet, because he is such a charming figure. I mean, which is why he was such a good choice for Tony Stark in so many different ways. I mean, with Tony Stark's problems with alcohol in the comics, but yeah, I didn't think that kind of menace was in Robert Downey Jr.'s makeup. So yeah, I think that is a thoroughly deserved Oscar. So yeah, not a surprise at all. But yeah, it's nothing has genuinely surprised me. I suppose makeup and hair styling for Poor Things, but mildly The Boy and the Heron. But yeah, the Oscars are getting increasingly predictable. We'll have to see if there's any genuine shocks coming up. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr., absolutely expected.
Please welcome Arnold Schwarzenegger and Oscar nominee Danny DeVito.
Twins? Why are we celebrating twins? For God's sake.
And the Oscar goes to... Here we go. This is... Godzilla.
Wow! They gave it to the Japanese film. They gave it to a Godzilla film. And they've all got Godzilla toys with them. Okay, genuine surprise. I mean, I didn't know what I think would win, but I didn't think they'd give it to the Japanese one. I mean, the fact that it even got nominated is pretty astonishing. And they all seem a little bit starstruck by Arnold Schwarzenegger, but...
seemed out of reach. And the moment we are...
Maybe I actually should see Godzilla -1. I didn't bother. I mean, Godzilla just doesn't appeal to me that much, but... this... The Academy is genuinely becoming more international. And...
because by our biggest rival, which was...
Yeah, I mean... If this is the guy who they chose who has the best English, then yeah. But yeah. And I love the fact they've got Godzilla toys with them.
Oppenheimer, Jennifer Lane.
Okay, editing. It's probably going to go to Oppenheimer. And it's probably going to be deserved to go to Oppenheimer. Maybe my choice. I mean, not that I'm an expert or anything, but either Anatomy of a Fall or Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. I mean, that's only the second award this evening after Downey Jr.
This is the first Oscar win. Performing the Oscar-nominated song "It Never Went Away" from American Symphony. Please welcome John Batiste.
Still haven't got around to American Symphony. Basically because it didn't get nominated. Everybody expected it to get nominated and it didn't get nominated. Oh god, Steven Spielberg is a nominee this year. He's a producer on Maestro. Huh.
No, Kate, the dinosaurs weren't real.
Oh, America, not you too.
No, I know the dinosaurs were real, but in the movies they were CGI. There was a documentary about it.
My God, Dr. Spielberg, sir. Is this true? Wow. But, Jeff Goldblum is real, right?
No.
Then to whom have I been sending my tasteful nudes?
Okay, I don't know if that was pre-planned with Steven Spielberg, but that was actually quite clever.
The nominees for Best Documentary Short are...
Okay, documentary shorts, I've got no idea.
Oscar goes to The Last Repair Shop.
Okay, that's an interesting choice. This is apparently a documentary about the last repair shop of musical instruments in Los Angeles school system, which sounds like a nice protest-ish story. Kids need to learn music, and if you don't repair the instruments, you don't learn music. And apparently the Los Angeles school system is the last place in America where the instruments get repaired for free. So, yeah, and there's like 2 people working for the entire Los Angeles school district or something.
Thank you so much to the Academy.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all like uplifting, hopeful maybe. And that looks like one of the students.
Is about the heroes in our schools.
So, yeah, from that uplifting story, they're now probably going to give the documentary feature Oscar to 20 Days from Mariupol.
For Best Documentary Feature.
And the Oscar goes to 20 Days in Mariupol.
Yeah, it was always the most likely. This is 2 years in a row that the documentary feature has gone to a documentary which is in some way anti-Russian. I was possibly mildly anticipating that Yulia Navalnaya might show up at the Oscars this year, given her recent bereavement. But
Thank you, AP, Frontline, and GBH. So thank you all, and thank you all. Thanks to Ukraine. Slava Ukraini.
okay, that was powerful stuff. I mean, obviously, it's a terrible situation in Ukraine thanks to Putin and his stuff. But okay.
Welcome back. We now have a
Okay, so yeah, that's a really interesting point. Saying that, yes, I have just won an Oscar, but I wish I never had, because the fact that I have this Oscar means that Mariupol got absolutely destroyed. And I mean, Mstislav Chernov actually looked angry on stage. And yeah, it's got to be a weird situation. I mean, you went through this extraordinary and traumatic thing, and 20 Days in Mariupol is a traumatic experience when you watch it. And after this, and what, 2 odd years after it, or however long it's been, you get all this acclaim, you get all this attention. And yes, on one level, you need that. That's the point of making the film, is to get attention to Ukraine and what's happening in Ukraine. But at the same time, you're being awarded for probably the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Although, I mean, being an AP journalist, I'm sure Mariupol's not the only war zone he's ever been in. But it's got to be among the worst things he's ever experienced. And yeah, I'm not sure I've ever seen somebody accepting an Oscar with such anger. And that was unusual. But yeah, 20 Days in Mariupol was always most likely to win. But I mean, as I said in my preview video, which you haven't seen yet, that my choice would have been Four Daughters. I think as a piece of filmmaking, Four Daughters is an extraordinary achievement. 20 Days of Mariupol is an experience, a harrowing experience, a necessary experience. But it's basically reportage. It's having the truth of living in a war zone and the truth of Russian war crimes taking place. Does that make a film? Does that make a documentary? I would argue perhaps not. Whereas Katia Banhania, directing Four Daughters, she did some fascinating things in Four Daughters, and I really, really do think that's an exceptional piece of filmmaking, as well as being an extraordinary story. So my choice would have been Four Daughters, but I absolutely understand that 20 Days of Mariupol was always the most likely candidate to actually win the Best Documentary Feature Oscar. So, yeah, that was a powerful speech. I suppose by necessity, but I doubt any of the winners from now on will get quite that angry. But anyway, let's see what's up next. And you see, when they played clips from the Zone of Interest, it's all about the soundtrack, it's all about the unusual industrial whines and moans that it permeate that film.
Please welcome Zendaya.
Now, does this... Hopefully this means that Zendaya is just about to give out Best Sound.
Cinematographer.
No, cinematography, okay. This is probably going to be Oppenheimer.
And the Oscar goes to Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Hoyts van Hoytsma.
This is the first Oscar win and second nomination for Hoyga van Hoytema.
I thought he'd won before.
Nominated for Dunkirk.
Yeah, I mean, he got nominated for Dunkirk, another Nolan film. I thought he won, but anyway. It was always likely to be the win. Is he wearing trainers? He's wearing a tux and trainers, I think.
Please try shooting that incredible new hip thing called Celluloid.
Oh, he's one of those people. Well, I suppose Nolan is one of those people.
Than you think, and it makes things look so much better. Thank you to the Academy. Big thank you to my...
Actually, that's an interesting point. How many recent Best Cinematography wins have been for digital films?
You're by far the best thing that could have happened to my career, obviously.
There's genius in the way short films strip down stories to their most fundamental elements.
Which is exactly what we're going to do with this presenter copy.
Keep it short. Here are the nominees for Best Live Action Short.
Now, was that planned, or are they running over? I could go either way.
and Samuel Karen. The wonderful story of Henry Sugar.
Yeah, this is going to be the opportunity for the Oscars to actually give an award to Wes Anderson.
And the Oscar goes to The Wonderful Story
Yeah.
of Henry Sugar, Wes Anderson and Stephen
Wes Anderson, Oscar winner.
Wes could not be here tonight.
Why isn't Wes there? Is he filming something? Surely he expected to win. Gonna have to figure that out. Yeah, Issa Rae's keeping that Oscar. And oh look, it's a Diane Warren song. For fuck's sake! I mean, like the clips I played earlier, all of those better than the Diane Warren thing. No, the thing that happened is that Diane Warren had all these songs, you know, like Don't Want to Miss a Thing, How Can I Live, you know, really, you know, big epic ballads that were nominated but never won. And then years passed and everybody in the music segment of the Academy thought, oh shit, we haven't given Diane Warren one, so they just kept on nominating her and nominating her and nominating her for films that nobody saw, nobody cares about. And in this particular case, this song is from Flamin' Hot, so she's appropriating Latin music and Latin culture and having a Latin singer do it. I mean, how could Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now not win the Oscar for Best Original Song? I mean, yes, it's, you know, been overplayed, overhyped, but it's a fucking banger. And it didn't win. And then you got, you know, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. How did that not win? And those, was How Do I Live? There was a Celine Dion one as well. But yeah, back in the 90s and the early 2000s, Diane Warren should have got one. Now she just gets nominated and nominated and nominated, and she doesn't deserve it anymore. Her style of music, everybody's moved past it. It's really starting to frustrate me. I mean, it's the same with John Williams. I mean, John Williams got nominated again for Best Score. Why? That's the break here. Diane Warren is a weird thing to get angry about, but I am genuinely angry that she over and over and over again gets nominated for Best Original Song. I think it is... I mean, how many consecutive times has she won? I'm going to have... Or, no, not one, but nominated. I mean, they've given her an honorary award. I mean, I think she holds the record now for most nominations without a win in any category. I think that's true. Certainly in the Best Song category. But, yeah, Diane Warren getting nominated over and over and over again for not particularly good songs. Weird things make me angry, apparently. Yeah, and Diane Warren getting Oscar nominated. I mean, I like her music, but like I said, I mean, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Fantastic songs from back in the day. Really, really good songs, Oscar-worthy songs. I wonder what beat them. All right. I think at this point, I mean, I haven't prepared it, unlike the one I did earlier. I prepared that in advance. But at this point, I think I'm going to go on a bit of a deep dive into Diane Warren's career and see all the things that should have won and all the things that beat it. So, yeah, at this point, probably there's going to be some Diane Warren stuff.
Frightened you'll slip away. You must love me. You must love me. Well, I try to forget you, girl, but it's just so hard to do. Every time you do that thing you do. How do I live without you? I want to know. How do I breathe?
'cause the writing's on the wall.
Here to present the Oscar for Best Sound, one of the funniest and loudest people I know. Please welcome John Mulaney.
John Mulaney? It's a
Now
bit
the Oscar
random.
for achievement in sound. And he's like, people will come, Ray. He's the only one with a financial plan. But what's weird is Timothy Busfield.
Okay, get on with it. I mean, alright, it's a bit, I get it, but
And he comes up and he pats her on the back
Oscars,
a couple times,
please.
And he's like, hot dogs stuck in the throat. And then he can't go back in the game.
And as I said earlier, please, for the love of God, give the best sound to the zone of interest.
And do the Heimlich maneuver. You can't return to the field.
It's actually cool that they're not saying who the nominees are over the best sound. I mean, Oppenheimer's probably going to win, and yes, it will be deserving, but The Zone of Interest is a movie that is entirely about sound, about what you are hearing. I mean, Johnny Byrne in that Q&A I talked about earlier said that there were two films, the one you hear and the one you see, and his job was to make the one you hear.
And the Oscar goes to The Zone of Interest.
Yes! Fucking A! I'm so glad. Oh, that's made my night. And I've just completely freaked out my cat, who has been remarkably well behaved. I mean, she interrupted last year, but yes, this is the Oscar which needed to happen. Oh, he almost walked straight past Jonathan Glazer.
Jimmy Ogden, Mateusz Staszek, Philip Sulima, and Greta and Anya. Thank you. And Happy Mother's Day! Happy Mother's Day!
Okay, that was short and to the point. I mean, that was almost a double act. But yeah, oh, I am so relieved. I really did not think that was going to happen, and it absolutely should have happened. I mean, that is... Oh, we're getting some cans. Okay. Oh, Mark Ronson's playing the bass. Or is that Mark Ronson? I think it is.
I'll sleep alone tonight.
Oh, and the other kids, we have Simu Liu and Kingsley Ben-Adir. I definitely spotted. Wearing pink leather gloves. Yeah, that is the four. Slash! Are you what? I think that's Slash. Or somebody who desperately wants to look like Slash. And Ken with the Barbie font. American Ferrera, Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie singing their Ken. Because everybody's Ken after all. Okay, that was cool. That's the big performance we needed. And I have a feeling that it's going to be a situation like the last time Diane Warren really should have won the Best Song Oscar, which, yeah, okay, they're going for a break. So, that was brilliant. The performance, the staging, the over-enthusiasm. I'm pretty sure that was Slash. Almost, well, Is it better than Naatu Naatu from last year? That was a hell of a performance, but... Yeah, that was, you know, the big, gigantic number, bit tongue-in-cheek, had all the Kens on stage with Ryan Gosling. Great, big, flamboyant, huge performance. And I'm pretty sure they're going to give the actual award to the other song from Barbie, done by Billie Eilish. Which happened before. Now, one of the big moments as far as when I've been watching the Oscars is the incident of Till It Happens to You. Now, Till It Happens to You is a song that was co-written with Lady Gaga, who performed it, and Diane Warren. And they did the usual thing of having each of the best song nominees performed on stage. And what Lady Gaga did for Till It Happens to You was amazing. Now, the song Till It Happens to You was in a documentary called The Hunting Ground. I think it was The Hunting Ground. It was one of the Kirby Dick documentaries, which he did a series of documentaries about rape. So, Lady Gaga performed this song on stage with a piano and was absolutely surrounded by rape survivors. It was astonishing. It was emotional, it was powerful, it was strong, and it looked like this.
Till it happens to you, you won't know how I feel.
And then immediately after that astonishing performance, having all these rape survivors up on stage, you know, holding hands, you know, we are survivors, we are still here, we matter, all that kind of stuff. Immediately after that performance, they gave the Oscar to the song from the Bond movie, which I think was Sam Smith that year. And after that performance, I mean, look at the expressions on Common and John Legend's faces. Look at their expressions as they're just about to give the Oscar to Sam. I think it was Sam Smith. It was the Bond song.
And the Oscar goes to Jimmy Napes and Sam Smith for Writings on the Wall, Spectre.
I mean, that just sums it up. I mean, that expression that Common gives, it was remarkable. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that was the last time that Diane Warren deserved to win the Oscar. And yeah, having that gigantic, emotional, brilliant performance and then giving it to something else, I think that's going to happen again now. Because that was great, that performance. And I'm pretty sure they're going to give it to the Billie Eilish one. But yeah, fingers crossed. Because out of the 5 nominees, I think I'm Just Ken is the one I would pick. Yeah. Not with Zsa, not the Diane Warren one from Flaming Hearts. The Billie Eilish one's fine. Oh, the John Batiste one from the documentary, like I said, I haven't seen that documentary, but if it ends the way I think it ends, I think that that song's got some emotional heft to it. So yeah, I mean, I think either the Jon Batiste one from American Symphony or I'm Just Ken. But it's probably going to be Billie Eilish. We're going to have to see. But yeah, I will continue to bring up Till It Happens to You, because that is one of the weirdest and stupidest things that's happened at the Oscars. And there's been many weird and stupid things. And since we're on the subject of weird things happening at the Oscars, I'm just going to include that time that Auli Carvalho got hit in the head by a flag.
I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. I'll be satisfied if I play along. The voice inside, it's a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light of the signs of the sea, it's blinding.
Here to present the Oscars for Outstanding Original Score and Song, please welcome Ariana Grande and two-time Oscar nominee Cynthia Erivo.
Oh look, we have two famous singers presenting the Best Song and Best Score categories, who just so happen to be in the new version, the film version of Wicked. Isn't it great we can use the Oscars to promote our movies? Personally, I say give it to Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. If they don't have cameos in that movie, we riot.
A great movie song.
What? Oh,
Mood reveals something about a
Cynthia
character
Erivo's
and
got
how
a
to tell
septum
story.
piercing. That's interesting.
A great film score can even leave a handprint on our hearts forever. It can ignite wonder and astonishment, make us feel
Ariana Grande looks about 12.
transport us to new worlds.
Or somewhere over the rainbow where the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
Oh, how wickedly subtle of you.
I do try. And now.
Oh yeah, and
here
Cynthia
are the
Erivo's wearing
winners for
green.
original
Of course she
score.
is. Yeah.
And the Oscar goes to Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no strong opinions, I guess.
This is a second Oscar win and third nomination for Ludwig Göransson.
Oh yeah, I mean, I object to the fact that John Williams got nominated, but other than that, I've got no strong feelings in this category. I mean,
Incredible World.
this and Black Panther were both good. I mean, he's one of the better composers out there at the moment, I think.
Wife and acclaimed violinist Serena Goranson.
And the Oscar goes to Billie Eilish and
Yeah, they went for the dull one.
This is a second Oscar win and
They always go for the ballads. They always submit the ballads. They always nominate the ballads. And I guess it's an okay song, but it's really fucking dull. I'm Just Ken is a better song.
Thank you to our parents forever and ever and ever. Thank you to my best friends, David and Rat.
Yeah, I mean,
for listening
Phineas,
Thank you to Claudia for listening to all my music.
I believe, is truly one of the unsung heroes of modern music.
I want to thank my
Because
dance teachers growing up.
I had to watch that Billie Eilish documentary a couple of years ago because it got submitted to the Oscars. It was on the long list.
And thank you to the Academy.
Thank you, Joe Mariano. I love you.
And Phineas seems to be the stable one, seems to be the organised one. And he's the one who's got just as much musical talent as his sister, yet I don't think he gets nearly enough credit.
received an honorary Oscar.
Здесь у меня просто очевидная вещь.
Okay, Alexei Navalny. So presumably this is the in memoriam section, and Alexei Navalny starts the in memoriam section. Okay. Oh, I didn't know Mark Gustafson died. The guy who should have got all the credit for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Oh, the composer of Killers of the Flower Moon has died as well. So that would have been a posthumous Oscar. Oh, Lee Sun Hyun made the cut. Yeah, that's a tragic story. In many ways, South Korea is a very fucked up country.
But how the world turns. Guess nobody had a chance to be somebody.
Tina Turner made the cut. Okay. I think that was Andrea Bocelli and his son. And if it was, Andrea Bocelli has aged horrendously since the last time I saw him, but which, thinking about it, was probably quite a while ago, but anyway.
Is that you? Carmen Domingo.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be Cillian Murphy.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. Which is deserved. I mean, my choice was Carmen Domingo, and we're not going to get a queer actor playing a queer role winning an Oscar, or an acknowledged queer actor winning playing a queer role. I mean, yeah, Cillian Murphy is very good. I mean, I wouldn't have had any objections to any of those five winning.
Please welcome the Academy Award-winning director of Schindler's List, Steven Spielberg.
Okay, bringing out the big guns, I'm presuming he's going to be giving out Best Director. Yeah, having Steven Spielberg hand it off.
At their very best, films can do more than entertain
And this
us.
is going to be Nolan.
They can open our hearts to each other. And the Oscar goes to Christopher Nolan Oppenheimer.
Yeah. He was due, and it was great. I mean, again, all of these directors, I think, were deserving. It's a shame we couldn't find room for Greta Gerwig. Honestly, I don't think Greta Gerwig would make my personal list either, but yeah, Christopher Nolan was going to win. My choice would have been Jonathan Glazer, because The Zone of Interest is just such a strange movie.
There are so many people who've dragged me up here. And the incredible Emma Thomas, producer of all our films and all our children. I love you.
That was a good line.
To say, movies are just a little bit over 100 years old. I mean, imagine being there 100 years into painting or theatre.
So,
And the Oscar goes to Emma Stone.
really? Oh, wow, okay. I actually think she deserves it, but everybody thought it was going to be Lily Gladstone. I think she deserves this more than La La Land.
My dress is broken. I think it happened during I'm Just Ken. I'm in awe of you, and it has been such an honor to do all this together.
I'm stunned by
I don't know
this.
what I'm saying. Oh my god, I'm totally...
And all the technical stuff that Poor Things got earlier.
I was
Is there a
panicking
chance that Poor Things actually gets
happens a
Best
lot.
Picture?
So thank you so much. Don't look at the back of my dress. Thank you.
I mean, this... Alright. I have to be honest. I personally didn't think that Lily Gladstone...
Guys, make sure we tear up that envelope so there's no confusion with the Best Picture. Hi, everyone. I was just, doing this show is not about me, and I appreciate you having me. It's really about you and Emma and all these great actors and
Well, I suppose they
actresses
had
and
to
filmmakers,
talk
but,
about the
I was told
Moonlight
we have
fuck
like
up.
an extra minute, and I'm really proud of something. I was wondering if I could share it with you. I just got a review, and has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be. Get rid of
Not
Kimmel
wrong.
and perhaps replace him with another washed up but cheap ABC talent, George Slopanopoulos. He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous. Blah, blah, blah. Make America great again. Okay, now, see if you can guess which former president just posted that on Truth. Anyone? No?
I wonder if that's genuine. I wouldn't be surprised if it's genuine, but...
Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still... Isn't it past your jail time? With the award for Best Picture, please welcome Al Pacino.
Al Pacino's a strange choice. Does he have any connections? Because last year it was Harrison Ford and he had the connection with Keho Kwan. So what's in Oppenheimer? No, well, I don't know. I mean, it's probably going to be Oppenheimer, but there's a chance that Poor Things actually made it.
Right? And I have to go to the envelope for that. And I will.
Is Al Pacino okay?
And may I see Oppenheimer? Yes. Yes, Emma Thomas, John Ford.
Okay, well, you blew your line. And stumbling out there, I mean, that was the... I suppose it's better than Warren Beatty doing the Moonlight thing, but that was just sort of underselling to a fault. And yeah, I don't think Al Pacino's okay. But yeah, Oppenheimer. I mean, there was a sliver of a chance for Poor Things, because I did not see Emma Stone coming. I thought it was Lily Gladstone. I mean, as I was talking about before I got distracted. Well, yeah, we'll get back to all of that.
Wow.
And the wife gets the final speech because everybody else has spoken.
Know that you kind of dream of this moment.
Okay, so yeah, Oppenheimer. There was just that little sliver when Emma Stone won, which genuinely surprised me. Now, I'm on record in the video, which is still not finished uploading, my preview video. I mean, the ceremony is over and my internet is so shit that my preview video is still not online. But anyway, in my preview video, I say that Emma Stone is my choice for Best Actress. I mean, she is, in my opinion, giving such an extraordinary performance. I mean, the way that she begins in this really odd physical thing that she's doing, playing this brainless character, and then gradually developing and really, really liking sex, which is, you know, the centre of Poor Things. I think she's brilliant. I think she deserved that Oscar. She deserved it more than the one she got for La La Land, in my opinion. But everybody thought it was going to be Lily Gladstone. And it definitely would have been cool to have a Native American winner of an Oscar. I mean, there has been an acting nomination back in the 60s for a First Nations Canadian Native actor. But that was the narrative. That was, you know, it was Lily Gladstone's award. I mean, she's won so many of the precursors. So it was going to be her. But I am on record that I honestly wasn't that impressed with Lily Gladstone in Killers of the Flower Moon. I did not look at that performance and think, give that a nomination or give that an award. That just wasn't in my thinking as I watched Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh yes, there are one or two scenes which are really, really good. I mean, phenomenally good. But as an entire performance, I don't think it particularly stood out. I mean, as whoever it was said on stage, I mean, giving out the award, you know, Lady Gladstone is the soul of Killers of the Flower Moon. But I honestly just was not that impressed. So yeah, it would have been cool to have a native winner of an Oscar, and also having a performer who identifies as non-binary. Lily Gladstone uses both she, her, and they, them pronouns. So that's, you know, degendering the Oscars is a discussion we're going to have sooner or later. That would have been cool as well. But I'm really, really glad that Emma Stone won that. I mean, I do think she was the best acting performance. Certainly out of the 5 nominees, I think Emma Stone was the best actress this year. But yeah, this is... That was yeah, I think the one genuine surprise of the night. I think, actually, but the two kind of surprises we got was both Poor Things. It was Emma Stone for Best Leading Actress and Makeup and Hairstyling, which I guess I think I should have seen coming, because Poor Things was a much bigger film than either Maestro or Golda. But in general, they go for the heavy prosthetics, and I was sure it was going to be Maestro or Golda. But yeah, so those were the two genuine surprises. I mean, the pleasant surprise of the night was The Zone of Interest did win sound. I mean, that was, I mean, as I repeatedly said, I mean, that was the one category that I was really, really invested in, because the soundscape of The Zone of Interest, that's what the entirety of that film is about. Without the sound, it's not the same film, and it's not as good a film, because the whole point is not what you see, it's what you hear. And as Johnny Burns said at that Q&A, I mean, he made the film you hear. I mean, one of the 2 films that was made was in The Zone of Interest is the film you hear. And then you have to have the film you see, and then putting them together was the job of Jonathan Glazer. And, oh yeah, UK getting the Best International Feature. Yes, I'm a nationalist now. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, not a lot of surprises. I mean, Oppenheimer did win a lot, but Poor Things also won a lot. I mean, a lot of the visual technical stuff, I mean, like costume production design, went to Poor Things, which was absolutely deserved. And again, I mean, the two below the line categories that I really cared about was Zone of Interest for sound and Poor Things for costume design, and both of those came off, which was great. Billie Eilish getting best song. I mean, it's not even the best song in that film. It's not even the second best song in that film. Actually, I would take out of the Barbie soundtrack, I would take I'm Just Ken, Dance the Night, and Pink over that song that actually won the Oscar. Oh Jesus! It's past 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm yawning consistently. So I think it's time I wrapped this up. I mean, maybe if I think of extra stuff to do, I might add an addendum onto the end tomorrow when I'm editing this, but probably not. So all that remains for me to say is this has been a presentation of the Yay Nay or Meh channel, and I'll see you next time where I shine a light on cinema, both obvious and obscure.